Hey, what's up, guys? This is Coach Bryan Turner here again with another video. Hope you guys are doing well. Just wanted to jump on real quick because it's as funny as this sounds. It's funny, but it's kind of sad in the same sense. Had a kid come up to me and really didn't really know the ins and outs when it comes to something that they're about to jump into. All right. What do I mean? I'm just basically just talking about just taking a grand look at the whole scale of basketball, where we are as far as with NILs, where we are as far as transfer portals, where we are as far as high school coaches and AAU coaches, youth coaches, developmental coaches. Certain things that the kids say when they get to this stage, especially when they're in high school, when they haven't been taught and they have no clue of what's going on. Something just as simple as knowing the different types of, I would say, lines that this basketball era is kind of in. So I'm going to show you guys something, and I want to break this down, and I want to know your thoughts when it comes to these things. And I'm going to say five things. And someone sent me this, and it's basically, like I said, it kind of blew my mind, but it was funny. At the same time, I'm like, well, we have to continue to teach. At the end of the day, we got to teach our kids the right and the wrong thing to do, because we can't be upset with just thinking that, oh man, they have to know this. They should know this. No, someone had to teach them that. And if you're a good coach, you're not just worrying about the X's and O's. You're not just worrying about winning the championship. You should be worrying about developing these kids to get them to a certain point to where they can run their life on autopilot and be successful down the road. And it's not about, like I said, wins and losses, championships, all of that stuff can come. But I'm in the business of making sure we're raising up good men, good people, good young people, and doing the right thing, pushing society forward. So teaching is a part of it. So this is something that I came across. Somebody sent this to me, and I want to know you guys' thoughts on this. So it says, let's see if I can find this. Window. All right. So make sure it's up. Screen. All right. Trying to make sure that I can basically blow it up. Okay. I'm gonna just keep it right here. All right. So what does this say? This says basketball. All right. This says basketball. Basketball players in five lines. So I had to sit my kids down, and I kind of showed them this because, like, doing the process of picking AAU teams, doing the process of trying to figure out what the next steps are. The way we run things here, I feel like this is a program all year round. We're not just working on basketball just when basketball season starts. It's a program, it's a process, it's a system, and not just developing good basketball players, but again, just developing good people that can make sound decisions, great decisions. And if they want to pursue and try to pursue things, they have everything available for them to possibly reach their goal. So with this diagram that, like I said, somebody sent to me, it kind of pointed out in a sense of basketball in five different lanes. And I want to see if I can get this across the whole screen. So what does it say? It says basketball in five lanes. All right. What line are you in? So here we are, first day of school, and we get tons of families that come to orientation, first day of school. They want to know all of the information about the kids' journey, what's going to happen. And so you get there on the first day, and we see this all. When you first starting out at school, all of the parents are there. First parent teacher conference, you see some of the parents there. By the time that the first report card come out or first semester, not so many parents there. Another something important things that not so many parents there. But then when it comes to, let's say, a sporting event or a sporting game, they're all there, packed. They ask little man to come, this person to come, that person to come. Gym is jam packed. You make the transition to AAU season, summer basketball. Now, all of these kids, thousands and thousands of kids, are trying to get in spaces that's only going to be for just a small percentage of folks. So, what do we have here? The breakdown of all of the different AAU teams. And so, when we get kids that say, "Hey, what are you doing this weekend?" "Oh, I'm playing basketball. I'm playing AAU. I'm going out of town. I'm doing this." Look at this line right here. Look at this. So it says academic tutoring. Okay, for people that's trying to be serious, and this is why I said in another video that we've lost the plot. That parents they don't spend or invest time in their kids' education process to the point where they developing smart kids. Kids that can think, kids that can make sound decisions, critical thinkers. All right. So the academic tutoring right there. Look, nobody's over there. You see it. Nobody's in the academic tutoring line. For what? Little man going to the NBA right out of his when he's 19 years old. So what if he can't read or write? He's going there. But academic tutoring, nobody's there. All right. Let's look at the weight room. Okay. Because again, part of the program that we do here at St. Mary's, not everything is on the court. We're constantly trying to tell these kids about what the next level looks like. Again, we talked about having a plan. It's part of your plan having a nutritionist. It's part of your plan having a trainer. It's part of your plan having a strength and conditioning coach. If it's not, then it's a problem. Look at the weight room. Okay. When the balls roll out, man, you get everybody there. But if I say, hey guys, we're going to go in the weight room, we're going to stretch, we're going to lift some weights with anticipation of getting bigger, stronger, faster. Look at the line. Nobody's really there. You have a couple kids. Okay. Now let's get to the player development. I feel like I fall in this line right here with the youth player development. I'm trying my best to just keep engaging kids for long periods of time for it to click on. But I'm also sprinkling a little bit of things that they need, putting things on the forefront, saying, hey, look, these are the things that you're going to need later on down the road. But keeping the kids engaged, having patience, and then just knowing that, hey, again, with the families, this is a partnership. I'm going to give you this. It's going to possibly be homework. But if you do it and you continue to do it, you're going to have a positive outcome. All right. So look at the player development. You got the coaches. You got, the lines are starting to get packed because parents are waking up to the skill development. Kids are waking up to the skill development. And now coaches are emphasizing those things. So hats off to the player development. Hats off to the weight room guys, strength and conditioning guys. Hats off to the tutors and the teachers that hold the kids back to make sure that they have an understanding of classwork and being able to play the game the right way when it comes to education. Okay. Now we start getting into the camp and the exposure tournaments and the camp and the exposure line. Look how long that line is. Okay. Camps and exposure. Tons of people lining up to be involved in that. And like I said once before, let's say you get invited to these camps and these exposure places. All right. Do you have a plan, or is everything going to be reactive in your approach? Okay. Exposure is supposed to be exposure. Exposure to what? Hopefully it's exposure to college coaches, college environment, so you can possibly play at the college level. So where it says the exposure part, what are you getting exposed to? And ding, 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 ding. Not all the time, young man, not all of the time, young lady or parents, the exposure part in this situation, you don't have to play on teams to be exposed to things. I had to have a conversation with a couple guys and I said, hey, just look for schools that you want to go to. See if they have elite camps, go to those elite camps, see the college campus, see the coaches, interact with the facilities. And if it's a school that you can see yourself at, apply to the school. Then you start the process of, hey, when it all fails, I know I'm going here, right? with hopes of possibly getting a scholarship, with hopes of possibly playing for a particular coach. But at the end of the day, you're starting a plan and you're starting to work your plan that can benefit you and not being reactive, with you waiting on somebody to come in and quote unquote save you. Okay. So, long line for the camps and exposure. Okay. Now we get to the shoe circuits and the games. Every kid wants to get here. But the pitfall to a lot of these different things, parents, players, coaches, I've seen kids go through this process and ranked very, very high. Let's say in middle school, let's say freshman year, let's say sophomore year. But right around junior year, senior year, they start losing the love. They start losing the edge to get there because they've been given everything and given everything and given everything. And now it comes to a point where you have to work for something. And when these kids have to actually work because they didn't work in the weight room, they didn't even work in the grades with the academic tutor, they didn't work with the player development coach, they didn't even work with trying to get some type of exposure. They were waiting on, and I used to say Mike Krzyzewski, but a lot of folks didn't even know who Mike Krzyzewski is. So I'm going to say they're not going to wait on Danny Hurley. They're not going to wait on Coach Cal to come tap you on the shoulder and say, all right, come on, I'm ready for you. Nah, you should be putting a plan together in order to get there and not sitting around waiting on the shoe circuit and these brands to come pick you up and say, hey, are you ready? Because a lot of the climate that's going on right now, the people that's playing on these shoe circuits, you're not getting the top players playing on a particular circuit with a brand. Everybody's not going to Nike EYBL anymore. People are doing P32. People are doing the New Balance circuit. People are doing the local tournaments because they're running from the smoke. They don't want their rankings to get to drop because now they lose their leverage to go to a school to say, hey, I was the number one player in the state of this state. But if you go and play in a circuit or on a circuit where everybody's there, you get cooked, you lose that status. Now what? Now let me guess, that kid doesn't want to play anymore. That kid is ready to throw the basketball away and he's ready to be a streamer or he's ready to be something else. He's so caught up in his brand. All right. So I've seen these things happen and I'm saying that, hey, you got to just have a plan. And I'm going to keep echoing that probably, man, all summer. Hey, do you have a plan? Do you have a plan? Do you have a plan? What is your plan? Can your coach give you a plan? And I'm going to challenge the coaches out here. Are you creating and writing plans down for your players? So that's something that when we have these conversations and when I get more coaches that I have on the podcast, I'm going to ask them, hey, do you make plans for your kids? Do you curate it to make it special for that particular player? So that's something to think about. Okay. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about this whole concept of having a plan, of breaking the kids down and teaching them about the 5 lanes of basketball where we are today. And if you see anything that might be changing down the pike, down the stretch, kind of let me know. Appreciate you guys checking out this video, and I will see you guys on the next one.